Hi everybody, come on in. We are about to have a late night training, okay? I know that I did not tell anybody I was coming on live tonight, so I do offer my apologies to you. My plan is not to be on that long, so we're going to jump right into our training on tonight, okay? If you saw the descriptor before you actually came on, then you know our training tonight is going to be over something many of you expressed interest in on my stories, okay? So if you saw my stories on today, you noticed that I offered two options today. Either it was going to be assistance with your personal credit if that's what you're working on in 2022, or assistance with your business credit if that's the direction you're moving into. And most of you selected business credit, and I definitely understand. And since I cater to the small business owner and entrepreneurs, I totally understand that that is the one most of you chose, okay? So that's going to be what our training is going to be covering on tonight. As you're coming in, and for those of you that are going to be catching the replay later, go ahead and grab you a pen and paper, something to write with, because you definitely want to be taking notes on our training for tonight, okay? You definitely want to be taking notes on our training tonight. And you may want to tag a friend or a fellow business owner so that he and she can catch this training later on today or later on tomorrow or whenever they have the time to actually catch the training, okay? So what is our class covering on tonight, okay? Our class tonight is covering, if you saw, our class tonight is covering the first 8 steps of building business credit, okay? The first 8 steps of building business credit. Now, the reason I want to talk to you about the first 8 steps is because once you get past those first 8, it kind of requires you to be a little bit more detailed in my explanation. But the first 8 is pretty simplistic and face forward that when I give you the information, you can pretty much start implementing it right away, okay? Right away. So before we dive into our training tonight, for those of you that don't know me, you may be wondering who I am. I am Dr. Shay Bills. I am an author. I am also a real estate investor. I am a travel business owner, a transport and logistics business owner, okay? And a mentor, and I own SB Coaching and Consulting, which is where you are right now. This is where I train small business owners and entrepreneurs, and I teach them how to scale and market their business, okay? I do that in a number of ways. I like to call it the 4S system. I do it through social media, systems, automation, and monetization of your social media platforms online, okay? I am blessed and I am grateful to be blessed by God with gifts and talents to help individuals like you grow and scale your businesses, okay? I could go on and on about the number of clients that I have. I'm so grateful and thankful for each and every last one of them. And if you are listening tonight, I want to say thank you, because I definitely would not be here without you guys. I have some rock stars that are definitely dominating in the digital content space, which is where we teach individuals how to actually create content that is evergreen, which means once you create it, you don't have to do anything else, and it continues to sell and make money for you months and years on down the road, okay? We like to call that sleep coins, okay? And passive income. I'm also educated. I have an associate's all the way up to my doctorate in primarily education, okay? But when it comes to entrepreneurship, I like to say that I learned it through experience, trial and error, learning as I go, improving as I go, okay? I've been an entrepreneur since I was about 18 years old, and I love it. It is my first passion. I tell people all the time that I was entrepreneurial before I was ministerial. And that's just who I am. Okay. So if it's your first time here, thank you. Don't let this be your last time. Go ahead and like and share. Okay. And follow me at Dr. Shay Bills at both Instagram and on Facebook. Okay. Instagram and on Facebook. All right. So give me a 1 in the comments. If you can hear me and see me well, give me a 1 in the comments. I want to make sure before we actually dive into the training that you guys can hear me and see me well. Put a 1 in the comments. I just want to make sure before I actually dive into what we're learning on tonight that you guys can hear me and see me well. Remember, tonight we are covering the first 8 steps of building business credit, okay? The first 8 steps of building business credit. Go ahead, grab your pen, grab your paper, because you definitely want to be writing this information down. If you have a small business, if you're thinking about starting a small business, and you're wanting to figure out how to leverage it, okay? That's the whole key to business credit. You're seeing all these glimpses and all these stories and all these pictures of people talking about business credit. But the truth of the matter is that before you get to that level, you have to build a foundation. But also, once you get to that level, you have to learn how to leverage it. And that's for a later day, okay? But it's so important, especially to our community, for those of us that have had businesses for years, that we have been funding out of our own pockets, right? We've been scrapping. We've been struggling, right? I'm here tonight to give you the first 8 steps to begin building business credit so that you can leverage other people's money, okay? Other people's money. We call that OPM in social media world, okay? OPM, that's what we want to be making for our business so that we can leverage it, okay? So, the first 8 steps to building business credit, number one is we're going to talk about your business name, okay? Your business name. When you are building your business, one of the things you definitely want to steer clear of is making your name sound like anybody else's name. You want your business name to be very unique to you and very unique to the business. You want your business name also to represent what you stand for without sometimes having to explain it, okay? For example, my business name is SB Coaching and Consulting. Well, you know what coaching and consulting is, okay? So that's already letting you know the direction of my business, right? It's important because oftentimes I've had to help individuals go back to the drawing board and come up with a business name that actually suits their business. Guys, make sure your business name is also available. If you are in the early phases of your business, make sure it is available. One place that you can check to see if your name is available is at www.uspto.gov, okay? www.uspto.gov. You want to go there, type in any variation of the name you could come up with, and it's going to tell you whether or not that name is available for your business, okay? Another place you can go to is businessnamegenerator.com. businessnamegenerator.com. Okay. There are also a number of other places you can go, but those are the 2 places most people go to first when they're trying to source whether or not their business name hasn't already been taken, or if there are other variations of that name already out there, because you want to make sure that your business doesn't get confused with someone else's business. So try to make it as different and as unique as you possibly can. And here's another tip when it comes to your business name. The more people see it, the more they remember it. Okay? The more people see it, the more they remember it. So if you're a business owner and you're online and you might be using your personal page right now to market your business, one of the things you want to start thinking about doing right now is actually posting the name of your actual business more often. Because when you get to a point where you need to transition, where the business can stand on its own, you want to make sure people equate that business with you, the business owner, since you started it using your personal Facebook or personal Instagram account, okay? Very, very important. Because if you don't, when you move to a business page, most people, they won't do anything on that business page because they haven't connected the two. They still just associate you with your business. Okay, so if you want your business to stand alone on its own 2 feet, which is what business credit allows it to do, then you definitely want to start marketing the name of your business more often. Okay, again, I'm going to give you those 2 websites one more time for those of you that are writing it down. www.uspto.gov USPTO.gov. And the second one is businessnamegenerator.com. Businessnamegenerator.com. Okay? That's number one. You need a business name. Okay? If you're going to establish business credit, then you actually have to have a business name. You're not going to be able to use, like I can't just go around just use Shay Bills, okay? It has to be a legitimized business. The second thing, okay, the second step to building business credit. And I know for a lot of you, this seems simple, but we're taking the baby steps. These are the very first 8 elementary steps that everybody has to take when they're building their business towards business credit. The second thing is your business location. Okay, you can either have a physical location for those of you that have brick and mortars. For those of you, you might have a shop somewhere. You might be, I don't know where, but you're not at your house, okay? So you have a physical location that has a physical address. Your second option is going to be whether you're at your virtual business or your kind of home, right? So where is your business located? Wherever that business is, you are going to need an address. If you are primarily using your business from your home, the last thing you want to do is to establish business credit with your home address. You are going to have to get what we call a virtual address. And I'm going to talk about that a little later. That's a different step, okay? So if you are primarily right now a business operating out of your house, okay, when you're getting ready to start building business credit, you do not want to be using your home address as your location address, okay? And I'm going to tell you what you're going to do later. For those of you that have brick and mortars, you actually have a place, a building that people come in and out of to do business with you. Then you're perfectly set. That is great. That's the actual address that you are going to use, okay? Now, if you are in a period of where you know you're about to transition, I suggest you hold off on establishing business credit in that address. Okay, wait till you get to where you plan on staying for a long period of time or where you plan on being, and that's the address that you're going to use, okay? Put a 2 in the comments if you understand what we just talked about. Put a 2 in the comments if you understand business location, okay? That is important for you to have a physical address. A physical address, and that you cannot use your home address if you are working from home. Put a 2 in the comments if you understand. Okay, great. Okay, number three. So the first one was your business name. You need a legitimized business name that nobody else has. Make sure you do the research, because the last thing you want is to start marketing your business name and then somebody come and tell you, you better stop before you get sued, because that's their name. So make sure you've researched your business name. Number 2, business location. You're either going to have a physical location or what we call a virtual location if you're working from home. Number 3, register your business. Register your business, okay? First, let me tell you why it's important to register your business. You want to separate your personal life, your personal assets from your business, from the assets of your business. You also want to separate your personal monies from your business, okay? It is protecting you, because if anything happens in your business that would make someone come after you, you better make sure you have established or registered your business. What do I mean by that? You have at least, at minimum, a LLC. You have an S Corp. You might have a C Corp. You might have a partnership, but you have a business established. Okay? I am not talking about sole proprietorship, which is what most small business owners are. And I understand it because when you're first starting, it's the easiest. It's easy because you're thinking, I don't have that much money coming in anyway. It's not going to make that big of a difference. I'm not doing a whole lot with it right now. So I'm just going to stay a sole proprietorship. Okay, that's fine and dandy. But if you're going to start building business credit, you're going to need a legitimized business that is recognized as such, okay, by the IRS, okay? And so you're going to need at minimum an LLC, okay? You're going to need at minimum an LLC, all right? Now, you can do it on your own because you can go anywhere and Google establish an LLC, right? And they'll tell you all the steps you need to take. And you can take those steps all on your own, right? One of them is you can go to your Secretary of State. If you live in the state of Texas like I do, then all you would have to do is go to the Secretary of State. Then you would fill out your articles of incorporation. Then after that, you would go to irs.gov. That's where you would get your EIN number from. Talk about that in a moment. But there are a number of steps for you to take. Others of you are going to take a different route. You're going to probably want someone to take care of all of that for you, right? But you have to have your business registered. You cannot establish business credit unless your business is registered. Now, you might be asking, where do I go to register my business if I want to do it on my own? You're going to go to www, if you're in the state of Texas, you're going to go to www.sos.state.tx.us. I'm going to say it again. If you're in the state of Texas, you're going to go to your Secretary of State website, and that's at www.sos, that stands for Secretary of State, .state.tx.us. Okay, so that's where you're going to go. And then once you click on Articles of Incorporation, it's going to start walking you through all the things that you're going to have to come up with in order to establish your business. So you're going to have to actually come up with, format the documents yourself. But it is not hard. I don't want you to think that it's something that is totally, just out there. But you're going to have some knowledge about the paperwork that you are assembling and what you are submitting to your state. Because remember, these are state documents. These are documents that the IRS, these are documents that your accounting, your CPA, your bank, these are documents that are going to be used for your business. So you don't want to make any errors where you would have to go back and redo it all over again. All right. So that's number 3. At minimum, if you're going to start a business, protect yourself. Get at least an LLC, a limited liability company. Okay. That means that you are limited in your liability personally if something goes wrong in your business. Okay. If someone tries to sue you, they can only get what your business owns. If someone comes after you, or if there's a judgment against you, they can only come after what your business owns. Your personal house, your vehicles, your personal money, your personal bank accounts, they can't come after any of that, okay? But if you're a sole proprietor and something goes wrong, they can come after anything that is attached to your name. Anything, a house, a car, anything that your name is attached to, if you are a sole proprietor and you're doing business as a sole proprietor and something goes awry, you are wide open for someone to come after you, even for your personal stuff. So make sure you separate your business from your personal by getting an LLC, okay? Put a 3 in the comments if you understand that. Put your question in the comments if you have a question. Put a 3 in the comments if you understand. Put your question in the comments if you have a question. Good, good, good. Okay. Great. So, No questions about registering your business, no questions about business location, and no questions about your business name. I want to make sure I answer any questions you may have about the first three before we move on. Now is the time, okay? If you're going to ask, now is the time to ask the question, right? Usually people ask me about these LLCs, all right? But if you don't have any questions, we're going to move on to number 4. We're going to move on to number 4, okay? So number 4 is going to be apply for your EIN. Your EIN is your employer identification number. Just think of it as a social security number for your business. That's essentially what it is. So in your personal life, you have a social security number that is attached to your personal credit. All the credit bureaus, they use your social security number for that. In the credit business world, you have an EIN number. That EIN number reports to all of the business credit entities, okay? So they work the same way. Business credit, when you go somewhere and you want to put things in your business name, they're looking for your EIN. If you want to make investments, they need your EIN. If you want to buy a vehicle in the name of your business, they need your EIN. If you want to buy a property in the name of your business, they're going to want your EIN. Okay? So that's how it works. Pretty much how it works on the personal side, it works the same way on the business credit side. The only difference is one side personally is your social security number. The other side is your EIN number for business. Make sense? I want to make sure that makes sense. Okay? So, EIN, where do I go to get an EIN number? Okay, you can get a free EIN number at irs.gov. It is totally free. Anybody can get it. Uncle Sam wants you to get it because that's how he keeps up with what you're doing and where you're doing it at. That's why it's free. Okay, so you can go to irs.gov and you can apply for your EIN number. Now, let me put a thumbnail right here for just a second, because there are some of you that have a sole proprietorship and you have an EIN number. Okay, I want to explain something to you, because many of you think that since you already have an EIN number and you're a sole proprietorship, that all you have to do is get your LLC and you don't need to get an EIN. That is not correct. Okay, your sole proprietorship is attached to that EIN number. All right. Once you start establishing a LLC, that LLC has its own EIN. Okay. So there is no pulling over this EIN to go and fit over here. That's not how it works. Right. So if you've opened a bank account using the EIN that you currently have as a sole proprietor, remember, a DBA is not, okay, a registered business. It's just doing business as. It's just another way for you to have a checking account that you can get a check written in a business name and it fall under you. It's still personal. Okay, there is no separation between your personal liabilities and your business. It is still a regular checking account, even though the bank calls it business. It's not. So I don't want you to be confused. I'm trying to give you the information because you have to be knowledgeable. Once you start building business credit, you have to have a business that's a minimum LLC. You have to have a business bank account that's in the name of that LLC, and you have to have an EIN that matches that LLC, that didn't go with anything else. But when you form that LLC, that's when you get this new EIN number. Give me a 4 in the comments if that makes sense to you. Ask your question if you have a question. Give me a 4 in the comments if that makes sense to you guys. Ask your question if you have a question, okay? And I'm going to clarify it again as simple as I know how. Your EIN is free at irs.gov. But if you have a sole proprietorship and you have an EIN that you've been using with a DBA, you are going to still need when you get that LLC, okay, they're not going to pull that old EIN and say, oh, yeah, you can stick that with this one. No. When you get that LLC, that is like legitimizing the business that date. So from that date forward, as an LLC, you're a new business, and you will need a new EIN to attach to that new business. Got it? Okay. You can also go to places like LegalZoom. I know a lot of people use LegalZoom. LegalZoom is going to charge you between $80 and $90 for the EIN, but it's going to be inclusive of you getting maybe your LLC and any other thing, your registered agent and any other thing you may need for your business. All right. So you can either get your EIN for free. You can either go and get your own, register your own business with your Secretary of State. And if you do it on your own, you're probably going to look at anywhere between $300 and $350. If you use a service provider, then you're probably going to be looking anywhere between $650 and $800. All right. So it kind of depends on if you want to do it on your own or if you want to pay somebody else to take care of it for you. Okay. So that's number 4. All right. Number five on tonight. Number 5 is business checking. And I kind of hit on that a moment ago. But just to add to it, the only way you're going to be able to open a business checking account is if you have an LLC and an EIN number attached to that LLC. Okay. You're going to have an LLC. That's the only way it is truly a legitimate business checking or savings account. Okay. If you don't have an LLC, then it's not a true business banking account. It's just a regular checking account that they're allowing you to do business through, even though it's not a real, true business account. Okay. Really, basically, all you have is 2 checking accounts. So if you have a personal account and then you have a DBA that you're using for your business, you really still just have 2 checking accounts. Okay. Because the government looks at all of those funds as your personal money. The government isn't separating that because it's a DBA. So a sole proprietorship is basically you just running business. But in the government eyes, it all runs together. And you don't want that. And if you're going to build business credit, you can't build business credit with a sole proprietorship. Okay? You need an LLC at least. Any questions about your business checking account? Any questions about your business checking account? Okay. Number six is, now this is questionable because I know some people who actually were able to establish business credit without actually having one separate. But I also know some people who weren't able to get trade lines because they could not verify a separate business phone number. So that's what number 6 is. It is a business phone number. You can get a business phone number a number of ways. Number 1, you could use Google Voice. Google Voice provides a service for you to accept inbound calls and all that stuff in a different number. You can actually choose your area code that you want that number to be in so that it's, like a 903 number or 817, depending on where you live. So Google Voice is an option for you to get a business phone. Another option is for you to just call who you have now, your personal carrier, whether that be AT&T, whether that be Sprint, Verizon, I believe, whoever you may be with, is to call them and let them know that you're wanting to get a business line. Again, you're going to need an LLC and an EIN to actually get a business phone. But let me tell you another option. I'm able to get a separate number and use it to the same phone. So when someone's calling that business number, my phone rings different. It has a different ringtone. So I know how to answer the phone when it rings a certain way. So if it rings a certain way, then I answer, Dr. Shay Bills, SB Coaching and Consulting. How may I help you? Yada, yada, yada. You can get the same thing with your carrier. I'm thinking all carriers do that. Okay. If not, you can just add a line to your existing account and then just use that phone as your business phone. I don't like the idea of having two separate phones. I like the idea of having one phone and two different ringtones. So that may be an option for you, and it's a little less if you do it that way. Okay. I think it only costs like $15. 10 to 15 bucks if you just want it to have a different ringtone, but provide the number to the same number. All right. Put a 6 in the comment. Put a 6 in the comments if you understand that. Ask your question if you have questions. Put a 6 in the comment if you have, if you understand that, or ask your question if you have questions. So number 6 was a business phone number. 6 is a business phone number. Okay. Number 7, guys, we're almost done tonight. Number 7 is a business address. Number 7 is a business address. So remember, when I was talking about business location and I was talking about virtual and home, and I told you I would tell you a little bit later how important it is for you to have a business address that is not your home address. It is because when these creditors and lenders that you are going to establish business credit with, when they do their little check on you, if it shows up that your personal home is also where your business home is, oftentimes they'll kick that out. Okay. So in order to bypass that, your business address cannot be your home address, and it cannot be a P.O. box. Okay? It cannot be your home address, and it cannot be a P.O. box. You either are going to have a physical location, or you can go to the UPS store and you can pay for a physical address. It more than likely, it's going to be the address of the UPS store. And what they'll do is they generally hold your business mail. And so you can use that address, but you have to check with your own local UPS store, because from my understanding, different locations either offer it, don't offer it, or they offer it with a different address. So you definitely want to check with them. That's going to be your least expensive route first. Second option is going to be going to a place online called iPostal One. It is a place that will give you a virtual address. Basically, they'll give you an address that you'll give to people, or you'll post, or you'll display as your business address. And when mail comes to that direction, they will simply forward it to your home address. It's kind of like a mail forwarding system. So that will operate as your virtual address. Okay, so iPostal One is the place that you can go. Another option is physicaladdress.com. It works very similar to ipostal1.com. Basically, they'll give you an address that actually looks like a physical address, but when mail comes to it, it's just rerouted back to your home address. Now, this is for those of you that do business from home. This is for those of you that don't have like a separate location, okay? And this is great for you guys. Another option is going to be a place called Alliance. There's another one called Opus, O-P-U-S. There's another one called Regus, R-G-U-S. There's another one called WeWork, W-E-W-O-R-K. And there's another one called DaVinci, D-A-V-I-N-C-I. All of these work about the same way. They are virtual addresses for your business. And that's for those of you who work primarily from home, okay? And because you work from home, when you're building business credit and they ask for the address, you want to give a physical address. Okay? A physical address. Nobody's going to know that it's a virtual address. Okay? Nobody's going to know that when it goes there, it automatically gets rerouted back to your house. Nobody knows that. You'll be amazed at the number of people and the number of businesses, especially like boutiques. I see a lot of virtual, and the reason I know it is because I'm in this space and I can kind of tell what addresses look like iPostal and what addresses look like physical addresses. Physicaladdress.com is because I'm in that space. If I wasn't in that space, it would just look like an address. So just know that it's very common. And a lot of people do work from home and they use virtual addresses as their personal addresses. Okay. Give me a 7 in the comments if you understand. Give me a 7 in the comments. Drop your question if you have a question. Put a 7 in the comments if you understand business address and how important it is. Remember, whatever address you use, whatever phone number you use, whatever name you use, when you start building business credit, you're going to have to use on everything. So be very mindful of what you choose. You're not going to be able to go back and forth, switch things out, change a little bit here, use a different number there. It will spit your information out, okay? So you're definitely going to need to be using the same information every time you continue to build business credit, okay? Every time you continue to build business credit. 7, I see 7. I see 7. Yasmin, I see 7. Jennifer, I see 7. Patrice, great, 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 great. No questions. Any questions? No questions? No questions. Nobody has any questions. Okay. Last but not least is number 8 that we're going to talk about tonight. And we're talking about establishing a business credit, the 8 steps to establishing business credit. And guys, these are the basic elementary steps to start building business credit. What I want you to do is, if you are missing any aspect of these 8, I want you to work on that. Okay. We are still in the month of January. I want you to work on that. Okay. If you're a small business owner, if you're an entrepreneur and you're like, well, I'm still new. I'm not even 6 months old. I'm not even a year yet. This is the perfect time as you are building your business to actually start building your business credit, because business credit works pretty much the same way as personal credit. And the sooner you start it, the better position you'll be in on down the line. If you continue to put it off and you've been in business for 3, 4, 5 years, you don't have that history. Okay. Remember, credit works on history. So as you're building your small business, actually start building your business credit alongside it at the same time. It's just going to make it that much easier, because by the time you get ready to start actually applying for these accounts in your business name, you'll have at least 6 months, 3, 6, 9 months of credit history, business credit history, which will make it that much easier for you to get approved. Okay. Much easier for you to get approved. Number 8, you're going to need a DUNS number. You're going to need a DUNS number, D-U-N-S, DUNS number. It stands for Dun and Bradstreet. The website is www.dnb.com. David, Nancy, Bob. www.dnb.com. Okay. So you're going to go to Dun and Bradstreet. Now remember, this is after you got your LLC, your EIN, your business bank account. Okay. All them 7s first. 1 through 7 first. Number 8 is Dun and Bradstreet. You're going to go there and you're going to register your business. Okay. You're going to register your business. Dun and Bradstreet is where your credit, your history and things is going to start being collected, right? You'll end up getting this score, right? So that's why it's so important that you register your business with Dun & Bradstreet. Okay, this number is important for you moving forward. This step is important because it's a part of one of the first steps to building business credit. All right, building business credit. Whatever phone number you use on Dun & Bradstreet is the phone number they are going to call. Okay, they're going to call if they need to verify something. They're going to call if they need to clarify something. You're also going to start getting calls from insurance companies. You're going to start getting calls from lenders and people who want to give you a loan. Just know that at this point, you don't need to be accepting or applying for anything. Okay? Anything. I don't care how good it sounds. I don't care how great it makes it look. Don't accept. You don't have a score. You don't even have any credit yet. So don't be applying for nothing. Okay. You just got to step 8. And all of a sudden, I'm just saying this because I've had clients I've worked with in the past, just accept stuff. Okay. And then they wondered why they got denied after people told them they could get X, Y, Z. Well, of course, they're going to tell you can get 5,000, 10,000, yada. They don't know that you don't have any business credit history. They think because you got a Dun & Bradstreet account that you got credit already. So don't apply for anything. When you get here, I don't care who calls you. Just tell them no, thank you. If I need your services, I will contact you because that's where you are. Because once you get here, now we start moving into those other steps where you're really solidifying your business to stand on its own. And that's what we want. We want our businesses to stand on their own 2 feet without us, right? I want my business to be able to get whatever my business wants in its own name. Okay. If my business wants to purchase an investment property for $50,000, then my business can do that because my business stands on its own. If my business wants to buy a new car, a new truck, my business can do that because my business can stand on its own. And guys, I know several people whose business credit is better than their personal credit. Okay, so they get everything in their business name. I'm talking houses, I'm talking cars, I'm talking investment properties, right? I'm talking accounts. They get everything in their business name. Okay, so we want to make sure we're taking the proper steps and we want to make sure we're doing it the right way. Okay, so once you register with Dun & Bradstreet, it's going to take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks for you to get approved. Don't let get approved mess with you because as long as you have an LLC, as long as you have an EIN, as long as you have your address, as long as you have your phone number, then you're going to get approved. Okay. I do know last year, some people, it took almost 8 weeks for them to get their DMB number. But I just think that it's because of the time that we're in. Of lately, those that I've been helping, it's been taking about 2 weeks for them to get their DMB number. And it's an exciting time, y'all. I can't tell you. You're going to wonder, why didn't I do this sooner? Okay. It's going to be an exciting time. Okay. Do we need a specific email? Yes, Patrice. That's one of those steps. Beyond step 8 is an actual business email address. And if you actually have a business website, then I encourage you to go ahead and get a business email address. That's why, like, I'm at www.drshaebills.com. My email address is info@drshaebills.com. So if they offer it, go ahead and get it because you will need it. Okay. And we don't want Gmail. We don't want Yahoo. We don't want any of those. We want a legitimate email address that is attached to our business. Okay. But again, that's on down the line. Okay. Any questions, guys? I have about 2 minutes for questions. And as you are typing your questions in the comments, I want you to know that I have a business credit master course that is coming on that is going to be open on January the 30th. I believe that's the last Sunday of the month. I am running a special right now for $79. Regular price is $297. So you get $200 off. Yeah, that's $200 off of the course, okay? That course, guys, is extensive. It helps you at first take the baby steps, and then after the baby steps, we move into actually getting your tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 accounts. I want you to, for those of you that are interested at this price, each week this price is going to go up as we move closer to January 30th. But again, right now it's $79. I can't stress how much you need to take advantage of it now. You can find it at www.drshaebills.com, www.drshaebills.com. Once you pay, then I'll send you the details after, okay? You'll get the details after. Question: how do I get a legitimate email address? Is there a certain website I need to go to? Okay, so if you don't have a website, Yasmin, do you have a website? Because if you have a website, then you can get an email through the same place you got your website. Whether that be Wix, whether that be what's another one? I can't think of the other websites. But if you don't have a website and you want to just get an email, then all you would have to do is Google business email. Yes, GoDaddy. That's what I was trying to say. Or you can go to GoDaddy and you can get an email address, okay? And you can pretty much get that email to be in anything you want it to be, okay? I do not have a website yet, but okay, yeah. So if you know you're going to get a website on down the line, wait until you get your website before you get your email address, if that makes sense, okay? Because your website address, the name you might want to use might not be available, okay? I've seen that happen to a couple of people. So you want to have your actual website address paid for, and then get your legitimate email address. GoDaddy is one, yes, and Square. Square is one as well. There's another one I'm trying to think of, and it's just not coming to me. It's just not coming to me. It'll come to me after. Watch. It'll come to me after. Watch. Any other questions? Any other questions? Remember, again, $79 right now, guys, for the Business Credit Master Course. And I know I get people all the time, well, you can build business credit on your own, or you can YouTube and you can do that, or you can go into these groups on Facebook and you can get all this free. You can. You absolutely can. But let me explain something to you, okay? Those of us on this side with experience going through all of it, we know what is being told and we know what isn't being told, okay? And I say that because there are details to building business credit. I actually have a business credit ebook, I believe, for those of you that kind of want something you can hold tangibly in your hand. And I've had that one and I think it's $30. I think it's still on sale for $30, but it's at the same place, www.drshaebills.com. But I want to tell you that the success that's found is found in the details. You can do it the quick way, and you can get credit cards, you can get accounts at Sam's, Home Depot, you can get all that. But what we're doing is we're building business credit where you can get approved for 10, 15, 30, 50, 100,000 in business credit, okay? We're talking about legitimate credit in the name of your business. We're not just talking about cards, okay? And cards are great, but usually those cards are around that tier 1 phase, and those just help you build it. We want to get to tier 2, and we want to get to tier 3, where we can actually start using business credit to help fund other business ventures, okay? Because we don't want all our eggs in one basket. So that's why it's important for you to make sure that you are strategically building business credit, and you're just not out there just trying to do something really quick and missing critical steps that are important on down the line, okay? On down the line. How long is your business credit course? The course is self-paced. The course is self-paced, and there are about, there are quite a few modules, but Yasmin, I take every step. Like, for example, the foundation, there are about 20 steps. Building the foundation, I just gave you 8 tonight, but there are about 20 steps to making sure you have a solid foundation so that we can get to the big money on down the line when we get to tier 3. A lot of places and a lot of people I've seen that are coaching and teaching business credit, they're just letting you do maybe the first 10 and then they're jumping into opening tier 1 accounts. But by the time you get to tier 2 and tier 3, if you don't have all of that other stuff in place, you're not going to get approved. Okay, so like I said, we don't want just cards. We don't want just to be able to say we got approved for 5,000. We don't want to just be able to say, oh, we got a 1,200 Home Depot card, right? Or we got a 1,000 Amazon card, or we got a 1,200 Walmart business account. That's not what we want. We want to be able to go to a car lot, okay? And if we want a car in the name of our business, that's what we want to get, okay? If we want to buy a house in the name of our business, then that's what we want to do. Got it? So we're really talking about building the foundation. There are about 20 steps there. And then from there, Yasmin, I move to tier 1 and I spend about 6 short modules on that. Once you're established with that, we move to tier 2, but it is self-paced. You can start it and stop it whenever you want to. Once you purchase the course is yours, okay? And I really think it's one of the best courses I've created, okay? Only because I know how important it is to make sure the steps are thorough. So if you follow the steps, you should have no problem in seeing the results, okay? Seeing the results, that's what's important. And then once you buy the course, if you have questions, of course, thereafter, I'm available because you bought the course, okay? Again, it is currently $79, you guys. I'm telling you, it's probably never, ever going to be this low again. So if it's something you're interested in, I encourage you to grab that as soon as possible. I will be going live quite often between now and January 30th, around the same time. I think it'll either be around, probably around the same time. And I'll either be talking about business credit or I'll be talking about personal credit. Okay. I'll be talking about business credit. I'll be talking about personal credit, or I'll be talking about generational wealth. Okay. Our legacy. All right. Any other questions? How long is it? Would we need to have these first 8? No. They don't have to be done before taking the course. As a matter of fact, in the course, I'm going to cover these again. You're going to see these covered. But in the course, Yasmin, I'm going to give you the actual links. You're going to actually see me go to these locations on your screen. So I would actually go to Dun & Bradstreet and I would show you where things are that you need to be mindful of. So it's going to be you being able to see my screen as I am teaching and coaching you through each step. Okay. You're welcome. All right, guys, if there are no other questions for tonight, go to www.drshaebills.com. Go ahead. It's the first green button. It is the Business Credit Master Course right now for $79. Next week, it goes up to $97. And then by the time we get to January 30th, it is $297. I know. Grab it now. Thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. I'm not sure if we're going to be talking about business credit or personal credit or generational wealth, but I do know it'll be one of the 3. So I will see you then, okay? Y'all have a blessed night, all right? Bye-bye.